My name is Duggal. I'm the founding partner of Female Founders Fund and have been an entrepreneur since 2005. For startups, the main difference that we've seen is really that taking a concept and actually executing on it takes, exponentially less time than it can in a larger corporate establishment. The right time to go to a startup really varies based on where your interests lie. I think the advantage of going to work at a larger company post graduating from college is that I develop, I think, a strong skill set. So, whether it's in financial modeling or understanding paid customer acquisition through working at an agency, I think that can be incredibly valuable for a startup if you choose to take that path. Understanding how well financed the company is really important. So, whether it's Series B or Series C, I think that that will provide a lot more financial security in terms of understanding that, there's real dollars behind this company and that there's a trajectory towards success. As a job seeker, the best thing that you can do is really do your research, understand how much financing the company's raised, which is usually available publicly, and as much information as you can get through the HR process in terms of how the company has grown from a revenue standpoint, I think is incredibly helpful. One of the most important things that a job seeker should focus on when considering joining a startup is really understanding the culture. I think that often, you can get really excited about a company based on what you see in the press. And the reality is that, you are not working necessarily with the image of that company in the press. You're really working with the people there that I think build that culture and define that culture. And so understanding the 2 or 3 things that the companies, whether it's their values, their culture, what they stand for, is incredibly important. And I think that when you are negotiating pay, especially, kind of as someone who's first joining the startup world, there's 2 important components. So the first is your own risk tolerance. So for someone who is joining a earlier stage startup, there may be more of an equity component. But for you personally, is that something that you are able to tolerate from a risk perspective versus joining a company at a later stage where there may be less of that equity, but if cash is more important to you, then that may make more sense for you. So I think that it's a combination of the stage where the company's at, as well as the risk tolerance that you have for compensation. When you are negotiating to join a startup, there's probably a couple different points or levers that you should focus on. So obviously compensation, which includes cash and equity. I think understanding benefits policies. So, you're seeing a lot specifically for women around, covering costs of things like egg freezing or fertility treatments. So getting a sense of, what you're entitled to, I think is really important. And then I think, time off, understanding, how does that company view whether it's, taking vacation or taking time off related to having children or bereavement. I think those are really important to think about before you join a company.